What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I have a very special video for mainly me, but for you guys, for everyone. And we are at a new location you've never seen. We're actually at my grandma and grandpa's house. And that is because behind this door is my grandparents' 1978 Mercedes 450 SL. I always forget what it is. It's the R107 body style that they made for like 20 years. And this is a very dreaded video that I've really not wanted to have to make, but I want to make it for mainly me to have in the future and for my whole family. I think it'll be good. So as you can probably assume by where I'm going with this, is this car was left to me by my grandma and grandpa. We lost my grandpa in 22, and we just recently, a couple months ago, lost my grandma. And it's come the time where I have been avoiding coming to work on this car and get it on the road again. But it's come to the time where I actually need to get this thing moved like tonight, at least to this side of the garage and not on this side, because the house and garage all needs cleaned out. So I don't want the car to get scratched from all my family walking back and forth. So we got to get fired up. We got to get out of here. We need to wash it. I feel horrible. It hasn't been on the road since, I don't know a for sure date, but I think either 2019 or 2020. I'd have to go back to my phone. I have a video of my grandma and grandpa driving by the house in it, so I can go look and get you an exact date. But it's been off the road for about at least 4 or 5 years. And my grandma always says that she would come out here and fire it up and let it get up to operating temp and then shut it down. But just probably like 3 months ago, she asked me to come put it on the charger because the battery's dead. And about 2 months ago, I took it off the charger for her. Most I've ever driven this car is 1 block from there to here, from their rental house, and put it back in the garage. Because I know it hasn't been driven for sure since my grandpa started getting sick, because my grandma was actually very kind of, not afraid of it, but she didn't like driving it because, like my mom told me the story, it actually broke down on her in the middle of downtown here where I live, and it's 3 lanes wide, and I think it broke down in the middle lane and left her stranded. So that would freak me out too, which freaks me out now driving it. But I'll stop rambling. I just want to give you a little history of this car. Let's get this door open up and I will show you guys the very special to my family Mercedes. Here she is. Let's shed some light on the subject. So like I was telling you guys, I've been dreading and hoping I never had to make this video. And I wasn't going to make a video on it because it's a personal thing, but it's something to do with my channel. And I think my whole family will love to get to watch this. So yeah, my grandma's been going to leave me this thing since I was probably 17, 18 when I started getting into cars. And they started getting old enough to have health problems and thinking about it. And I think she kind of knew I'd take care of it best because there's not many people in my family that are really into cars, especially not extreme as I am. And I don't think when she started thinking about me ending up with this, she realized I would get into Euro cars so much, because I love European cars more than probably, I love American cars, but Euro cars are like, it's my jam. So having an Audi on the channel and then now having this, it should be some good, I want to have more car content, so this really should help with that. And I think this car, I don't want to change a ton on it, but I've had a plan for what I want to do this car for like 4 years. So I guess on the bright side, I finally get to do that. So let's give you guys a walk around and then dive into this thing and see if we can get it out of the garage, washed, and back on the road all tonight. It's already getting dark, but let's try it. So now that both my grandma and grandpa are gone, it's finally come the time where we need to start cleaning out the house and everything. So my mom and aunt said it's pretty much time that I have to come over here and start messing with this thing, even though I've kind of been avoiding it because Like I always told my grandma, I don't want to have to really, like, I want this car, obviously, but I didn't want to have to receive it. So it's been a little hard, and I don't want to have to, you guys know what I mean. So we're here. I have to get this car out of the garage pretty much today. I at least need to get it to this side of the garage so that all of this stuff can be brought out. It's pretty cluttered in here, but hopefully you guys can see good, and I can give you a nice little walk around of the car, kind of go over it. I don't know much about these things, like I said, so I've done a lot of research, but it's still pretty new to me. So as you can see, it has a very, very thick layer of dust on it. I couldn't tell you, my grandma's, believe it or not, this car was meticulously maintained. Like, when I tell you, if something went wrong with this car, it was taken straight to a Mercedes dealer. They paid way too much money and got it fixed immediately. It just hasn't been driven in, I honestly don't know, I think maybe 2020, maybe 4 years ago, maybe 5. I have a video on my phone of them driving it, and that was the last time it was driven, and then it was put here. But my grandma, allegedly, she told me she'd come out here all the time and start it up and let it run up to temp and shut it off. That she could have, for all I know, she could have done it a couple months ago. I don't know. So like this thing it could fire up. I don't know. But we'll dive into that in a minute. Let's just drink all this up and do a little walk around on the car. It basically, I don't think it has, I do think it might have a little rust on it. Yep, starting down there, you can see 4 flat tires, or low tires, one's flat. It's black with, there's terrible lighting here. It's dusty and the garage is a mess, but it's black, has the like brown, like peanut butter interior. It looks awesome, actually. I love the color of it, the color combo. It's got some very slick MSW, I don't know what kind of wheels on it. It has these same wheels on it in a picture from, I think, the 80s or 90s when my grandma bought this car. So they're old wheels. They're not original. The old CB antenna. My grandma and grandpa always had CB antennas on everything, and maybe that's why I love CB antennas, but I think that's awesome. It's on there. And then this is the very goofy part. As you can see, that says 560 SL. This is not a 560 SL. The 560 SL is actually one of the most expensive, like, best, the top of the line, rarest version of these. And I don't think they made them until the 80s, 90s. They made the R107 for like 20 years. But this is a 450 SL. That's funny. So the story behind that is my grandma always called this her mafia car, which is, it's only for one reason, because she bought it from a guy downtown Chicago who she says like acted like he was in the mafia, and the numbers on the trunk don't match the title. So she claims this is like it was used in illegal things. I don't know. Pretty cool to think about. That's the story that I'm always gonna keep with the car because it makes sense to me. I probably would have thought the same thing. So this was my grandma's mafia car. My grandma was not in the mafia, but yeah, it's rebadged and black in downtown Chicago. Hey, makes sense. That's all you need to know. This tire, totally flat. I'll open it up in a second, but this top is not the original top for the car. There's a lift here. I don't know if you can see that my grandpa put in. I don't know if he made it. I really don't know, but this top must be pretty heavy. So that was their way of getting it off the car. There's a winch over there. And that they had the top off the car. The car was not in here, luckily, and that snapped and destroyed the original top for this car. So the Mercedes dealer they always go to get fixed, after it not having a top for probably 5-10 years, my grandma decided she didn't like that the car didn't have a hard top for it. So that dealer ended up finding one for her, and they had it painted, and it matches perfect, and you never know. But that is not the original hardtop for it, but at least it has one because I would not have known where to get one. I think these have a soft top too, so you really don't even need that, but I don't really like convertibles that much, so I love that it has a hardtop option. Sorry, it's kind of shoved in the garage here. It's hard to get you guys a good view, but that's pretty much an overview of this thing. Not much rust. There is a little, like I said, on the bottom of the fenders. I've learned from my Audi that Euro cars really don't rust that bad. At least the two that I've experienced work. You don't really see rusty. I don't know. I think they just undercoat them better over there. I don't know, especially old ones. But I think we should dive in the interior now and see what we got going on there. I've driven this car one time, and it was a block away. I drove it from the rental house to this garage, and I was probably like 17, so it was at least in 2017. Yeah, this thing really hasn't been driven in a long time, honestly. Worries me. I'm kind of scared to even try to twist the key, but whatever. Actually, you know what? Let's jump in the trunk first, then the interior, and then we'll dive under the hood and try to get this thing fired up. And honestly, I don't even know. I don't know if it's carbureted, fuel injected. I don't know. I'm thinking it's carbureted. I'm terrified. I don't even want to try. But let's dive into the trunk and see what we got going on there. All right, so I was actually just in this trunk probably 2 months ago, putting that battery charger on here. The batteries are back here, it's huge, I remember. My grandma asked if we could get it on the charger because she noticed the buzzer was dead when she opened the door. So she was always out here just messing with it. Like I said, I don't know, this thing might have, we never talked about if she just fired it up. Like she's always said she did, but I just haven't heard this thing run in forever. And there's a lot of oil on the ground under it. So massive, huge, enormous battery that looks very expensive. I don't know. I don't really want to look into that. Car cover for the battery, and nothing else. That's all that's back here. All right, cool. This thing is so well built. I swear, the Euro cars from back in the day, even the new ones, they're just built like tanks. It's hilarious. Let's open up this door because that one's pretty crowded, and we'll check out the interior. The best part about this car, I gotta show you guys this. This door is like a door to a Sherman tank. Like, what? All right, so I noticed we do have a door buzzer, and yep, the lights came on, so we might, hopefully are still charged. Like I said, I just took this thing off the charger like a month ago, right before we lost my grandma. Interior is pretty much mint on both sides. Door panels, it smells like it's been sitting in here forever. That's really loud. Wow, okay. Insurance cards. Wow, I haven't looked inside this car in years. The headliner on the new roof, top, whatever you want to call that, is mint. Sony radio, analog clock, I can hear clicking away. Wow, yeah, I haven't been in this car in forever. Guys, like I said, my grandma and grandpa absolutely, like, they were huge Mercedes fans, and this was their baby. Back before I was probably old enough to remember, it was probably driven all the time. But just from the years that I can still remember, I've only seen it move a few times. Well, I guess this means I gotta hop under the hood and see if this thing will fire up. Just saw this and I got to show you guys. I saw all the paperwork, like with the title and everything for the Mercedes Bentz Club of America. And yeah, I forgot to tell you, they were like into that, and they always got the, what's it called, like the flyers for that. So maybe we should join the Mercedes Club of America once we get this thing back on the road. Look at this beauty, just tucked away in here for years. Thick dust. Lots of fluids underneath it, which is scary. A lot of cobwebs. The license plate, Parade 4, that is because my grandparents owned a parade company, which you guys might not even know existed. You don't really think about that, but they literally put on parades. That's what they did. So all their vehicles had parade license plates. So that's, if you're wondering what that's about, that's why, that's the backstory. And I don't think this car has been out of this garage since around 2020, maybe 2019, after COVID. I really don't know. It's just been sitting here. All right, so I found the way to pop the hood in the car finally. Now I gotta find a way to actually get this thing open. Every car is different, I swear. Oh, there we go. I've never seen under the hood of this car. it was the batteries in the trunk. So every time I'd hook up the charger or jump it for my grandma, it was a trunk. I've never seen, I don't even know, I think these have V8s. I don't know, I think it's like 4 or 5. Some did, some didn't. They're all different. Wow. Yeah, that's a V8. What a beast. All right, let me bring you guys in here. That is a big V8 shoved in this car. Holy crap, guys. Wow. I guess let's look for numbers. I really don't know what this is. I thought it was a 4.5 liter. 276 cubic inch. I'm trying to read through my camera. 276, is that that's probably a 4, yeah, that's gotta be 4.5. Air conditioning, R12. Awesome. Distributor right in the front, I like that. This hood does not open very much. This grill's gonna hit me in the head all day. Well, I guess I really don't. I guess I'm gonna pull that air cleaner off, make sure that's good, and check the fluids on this thing. And I know the battery's charged, and I brought a jumper pack. And I don't know, like I told you guys, my my grandma told me she always came out here and fired it up. So if the fluids are good, battery's charged, it may just crank over, and we can make this a quick, easy thing, and get this thing cleaned up out of this garage and cleaned up because it looks horrible. Yeah, I guess let's check some fluids, fill up some tires, and hit the key. I gotta lose my hat before I get dirty. I didn't bring work clothes over here today. Alright. Maybe? That's oil. Alright, we got it. We're good. It's clean. I've never seen a dipstick that looks like this before. I'm guessing this is supposed to be the oil section. Right in the middle, and it's clean, so we're gonna go with that's good. Alright. Sealed radiator. Do we have any? Try not to scratch this thing. You guys know what it's like working on a black car, especially when it's got this layer of dust on it. It's blue. It's in there. Good enough for you guys. I guess I should pull this air filter off. I honestly don't know if this is carbureted or not. To be honest with you guys, I'm tempted to just hit the key and not really dive into this thing if I don't have to, because I'm very, very terrified of it. And the more I'm looking around at the vacuum lines and the wires, I'm even more scared. So maybe I can just look, maybe just take a peek. My little peek, make sure it's all clean and good, and there's no mice in it. My mother just walked in the house, but she was just upstairs above the garage, and there's a dead mouse, which means there's probably more, which means they're probably around this car, or in it, which is not what you want. Mill too? It's gotta be carbureted then. Wow. Alright, hold on a second, guys. What are we stuck on? What are we stuck on? Okay. Oh, jeez. Alright, so I'm glad I did that. Kind of a mess in here. I wonder if we got a vacuum. Ooh, vacuum. Found a vacuum. We're in business. don't know if that's for mice. I'm gonna assume it's for mice. I think this thing's got 4-barrel on it. I wonder if these are fast. I'm talking to myself now, sorry. Alright, I guess, I don't even know how to get this air filter out of here. Oh, it's stuck to it. Don't get in the car, don't get in the car, don't get in the car. Alright, so the air box is full of garbage. Probably from that dead mouse, it's upstairs. So there's a vacuum sitting right there. I'm gonna see if I can get that to work and get all this out of here real quick. Everything else besides that, the filter even looks fine. So we'll throw the filter back in. And then I think I'll feel good about just cranking on the key. Seeing what happens. How's the belts on this thing? They look good. Mr. Mouse got in here. I'm glad I pulled that off. Good enough. It's got some chew marks. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna go try to find out where to buy one of those right now. I don't see any chewed wires. I should probably take a second and just look for those. I hope not. That would be just awful. Alright, so air filter is good enough. Vacuumed all the garbage out of there and the mouse poop. Go ahead and throw this on here. And I guess I feel good enough. It's got good fluids, clean air filter. Gas is probably very bad. Yeah, I guess we try to fire it up. I don't see any chewed wires. The mouse is in the engine bay, but I'll do a little more looking. But as long as there's no chewed wires, we just try to fire it up. We got the compressor running. This tire is completely flat, so I'll probably just throw air in that tire and see if this thing fires up and do the rest of the stuff when we get it outside. Are those tires flat over there? Like completely flat or no? This low? Oh, okay. We got one tire to air up and we're good. All right, let's see if we can do this without a jumper pack. Oh my gosh. Where'd I put the keys? All right, so I think it's carbureted. I gotta get my hat off. I think it's carbureted, so I'm just gonna give it a couple pumps. Oh. All right, it's in park. All right, we have power and almost a half a tank and a horrible buzzer. Oh, it stops. I hear the blower. No smoke, right? I'm worried about those mice. All right, here we go. What? I don't see any. All right. Oh, I had to hit the gas a little bit. We're idling. Oil pressure is at 45, thank God. This has very kind of high miles on it. I'm sorry, the light's messing with you guys. This thing almost has 100,000 miles on it. They drove this thing. So I was a little concerned with the health of the engine. Seems good. All right, I'm gonna let this thing warm up for a second, get it pulled out. All right, it feels like we have brakes, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw this thing in drive and try to get it outside. Oh Jesus, that's a weird noise. Oh, okay, we have brakes. Weird transmission noise. Really weird transmission noise. Oh my God, this thing's crazy. Whew. All right, let's get out. How are our temps? 175, half a tank, idle's good. All right, where's the door handle? Oh, jeez. All right, I think for now, before we even hit the road, we're gonna go ahead and shut it off and try to just wash it off with the hose. I brought my bucket and soap and stuff. It's just so dirty. I at least want to get it clean today. And then we might try to just tool around the neighborhood a little bit because it's getting late and it's the weekend. And I gotta go where I can at least push it home. I don't have to deal with the trailer tonight. So shut it down and just take us a look how mint the interior is in this thing. I love the brown. So cool. Wow, guys, I am truly amazed what this looks like. Hand washed. It's a beautiful, beautiful car. The paint, I know it's getting dark out. We're losing light very fast, but the paint is in great shape. The chrome, everything. What an awesome looking car. We'll do more on this later on the channel, but before it gets dark, me and her are gonna jump in and take it just around the neighborhood and see if it wants to show me any issues that it has, or if it's just gonna be a nice little smooth drive. So yeah, but it looks awesome clean. All right, let's go. All right, we just hit the street for the first time in, like I said, I think 4 or 5 years. We have brakes, we have headlights, but we have no cluster lights, and I cannot figure that out. Switches are kind of weird in this. I can see the gauges. We're not overheating. We have good oil pressure. 20. Let's just drive it and see if it shows us anything. Let's hope it doesn't. It's weird that the gas pedal in this is not very responsive, and it has, I don't know if you guys can hear it on camera, the ticking, but we have a pretty decent manifold leak. Okay, that was only first gear. The pedal's very weird. Almost like, acts like it doesn't want to go. Brakes are good, that's important. Steering wheel's huge. Temps are good, oil pressure's good. Is it for second gear? There it is, all right. We have a transmission still. Like I said earlier in the video, if anything went wrong on this car, it went straight to a Mercedes dealership. Oh, you know what? I didn't air up the tires very much. They're still kind of low. You know what? We're gonna go back. I think that one's still pretty low. No wonder it doesn't want to move. They're not flat. We're good, but yeah, like I said, everything is dealt with by their certified Mercedes people. So hopefully everything's good on it. All right, we're gonna go fill up these tires, and that'll probably be the end of this drive for today. But this thing is back on the road, and it seems to be driving pretty good. We're not gonna hit the highway today, though. This thing's just been sleeping for 4 years. Well, it's dark out, but we have air in all the tires, and we're just cruising down. My parents live right over here, so my mom can see the car out real quick. And then I think we're gonna put it away because we've gone a total of probably 3 blocks. I think the one thing I didn't check is the transmission fluid because I could not find where it was. So I gotta find that dipstick. I think we're low on transmission fluid because when I went to reverse, it violently shakes and it takes like 10 minutes to get it into drive. So I think we're gonna go right here and then we're gonna take it back to the garage and save the next cruise for another day when it's light out and we do more maintenance. Yeah, it's feeling like the transmission's a little weak or the brakes are stuck. I don't know. We'll look into it later. The car's on the road. That is all. So I just found this thing. We can stop messing around. This actually makes a great seat, so I'm gonna sit in it so you guys can see me. Well, there you have it. 1978 Mercedes 450 SL, sitting for, like I said, 4 or 5 years. I really don't remember. And being started periodically by my grandma. Back on the road. We are, I think I told you guys, there's something with the transmission, I think. We might just be low on fluid. That's kind of how it's acting. It's taking a really long time to go into gear, and it just feels like something's weird. I can't really find the dipstick right now, and I'm tired and we're hungry. So I'm gonna save that for another day because it was good enough to drive around the neighborhood. The brakes came around; they were dragging, but they kind of popped off after a couple blocks. Didn't overheat. We stayed nice and cool. Good oil pressure. And look at this thing. Look at the trim pop. Like the black with the brown interior. It's a very well spec'd R107, and honestly, it's a beautiful car. I'm really excited. I'm excited to have it. I wish I didn't have it yet. I'm sure you guys can understand that, but I have it, so I'm gonna take care of it like my grandma would like me to. I do have plans. I think I kind of want to know what you guys think of this. There's 2 of these in the United States that are bagged, as I know of, like of people that post on stuff. And I've already talked to them. I think they kind of make a kit you piece together, and immediately I just think this car would look so good on like some 2-piece like rotiforms or BBSs and just aired out, slammed, sitting on its bumper. I don't know when that'll happen, but part of me doesn't want to change the car, and then part of me, it is my car, I might as well do what I want to it. But that being said, the most I've driven this thing is in this neighborhood, so I'd like to actually resolve that transmission issue, that I think it's transmission, and take it out like on the road and actually make sure I like driving it. I'd hate to like put money in a car that I really don't enjoy driving, but it seems like an awesome car, and they made these things for 20 years, people love them. So I think we'll have a day with the top off and driving this thing around through some back roads. And then maybe next year we'll get into possibly doing well. I think all this thing needs is suspension and wheels, and it already is a beautiful car, but even original wheels I think might look a little better than those, but whatever. Black's just not really my thing. The black car though, beautiful. And she always kept it waxed. It's nice and smooth. It could use another coat of wax, obviously. All we did was wash it in the yard with the garden hose, and we hand wash it with good soap so I didn't scratch it. And we got the wheels to get some of the brake dust off, but yeah. I hope you guys liked the video. This was very special to me. This meant a lot for me to make this, so but I'm glad I can share it with you guys and hopefully some of my family members, and I'll get to watch this forever. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. We'll do stuff on this, and if you're into Euro cars, I have an Audi B5 too. They have videos on, go check those out. Stick around for other content, but consider liking and subscribing, and have a great night. Thank you.